Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Young, and we are here with Joshua from the brilliant band Mirrorglass. Welcome, Joshua.
Thanks for having me.
Joshua, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
Well, I started the band in 2022, and I write music for the band, and I made an album at the start of the year where I recorded most of the tracks myself, and I had a drummer in to play, and yeah, I drive most of the band, most of what goes on.
Cool. Cool. Let's dive into some questions. Um, as a kid, what were you listening to?
I think Guns N' Roses was the first band I really got into when I was really young, like I don't know, before I was even 10, I was into Guns N' Roses. So they were a big influence. And Metallica was a big one for me. They were the first band I saw. And I saw them with Ghost. And when I saw Ghost, I became a very, very big fan of Ghost. And yeah, those are the main bands. And there's obviously loads and loads of other bands I listened to and loads of albums and loads of songs that I liked growing up.
Cool. Cool. Who sort of like actually got you into listening to music? Was it a parent, a sibling, or was it sort of like a journey of self-discovery?
Yeah, no, it was mostly my dad. I don't have any siblings actually. But it was mostly my dad that got me into it all. We used to sit down, like when I was really young, we used to sit down. He had this laptop. I remember he had a laptop, and what he'd do is he'd hook it up to the TV, and we'd be watching live concerts and stuff, and like the weekends. It's kind of like a thing we did at the weekends when I got to sit up a little bit later, you know.
Cool, cool. Must be a good memory.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, cool,
It's good times.
cool.
It's
Yeah,
very unique experience, like learning about all these bands for the first time, and it was probably the most rewarding experience, I suppose, learning about them for the first time. There's nothing that really beats discovering things and, you know, all
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's when I discover a new band, I'd say I get excited about actually learning about the band and learning the history.
Yeah, I'd be the same. I remember I used to deep dive into all the Guns N' Roses history. I knew all the gossip. I actually have Slash's book and everything because of it. Yeah, just deep dive into all that stuff. So yeah, I get what you mean. All the
Yeah,
backstory.
cool, cool. So out of all the bands that you've listened to over the years, who was your sort of like main, if it's just like a single person, musician or band, or was it multiple um, influences that you said, I want to do this, I want to get up on stage, I want to perform?
I think Slash was the first one that made me want to play guitar specifically because I always kind of saw myself as a guitarist first, even though I sing and all that. I always see myself as a guitarist first. I picked up the guitar like from a very young age, but I started properly picking it up in 2017, and a lot of Guns N' Roses stuff was a big reason why I wanted to do it because it just seemed so cool to play guitar. Just because of Slash, no one made it seem as cool as he did for me, at least. And then when I saw Metallica, that was also one of those moments where I was like, I want to do that someday. Actually, be in front of a crowd and perform songs for people because it just felt like such a unique experience.
Yeah, yeah. Sort of like another question following on from like the influences, who was your sort of like main inspiration to start writing songs?
That's a tough one. um, I don't know. I think when I had the guitar and I didn't really have a band, just the natural instinct for me was just to start trying to put things together and put words over what I was playing on the guitar, and it just sort of evolved. There was no, I think just listening to music and listening to my favorite bands just made me want to make my own music. There's no real top influence, I'd say, in that sense.
Cool. Um, so, uh, we got a question from Aussie Queen of the Rose. She asks, "How did you think of the band's name?"
It was quite random. I just I think I just looked in the mirror one day and said, yeah. But it's a funny thing because a lot of what I write as well, you know, it just instinctively comes to my mind, and it's like, okay, that sounds cool or whatever. And then later on, I put deeper meanings to all these things that I write. Like I might write something in a song, and it just doesn't make any sense the day I write it. But then later on, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe this is part of why I wanted to write it like this, and I kind of discover it myself later on. So the band name has been one that I've attributed a lot of different meanings to over over the couple of years of doing this. But I think it was completely random, really. It just looked cool and sounded cool to me.
Cool. Thank you for that, Ozzy. So, were you in any bands prior to Mirrorglass?
um, I was in a few bands that we just jammed, but it was all during COVID, so it was not really a uh, it didn't really get off the ground, any of the stuff I was doing then, because we couldn't rehearse or nothing. But I started first trying to get a serious band together in 2020 in the middle of COVID, and it took us a few months to actually get playing. And we played together a few times, and it was mostly for fun. It was a cool experience. I was playing with people that were older than me, so I learned quite a lot from those few sessions playing with people that were a bit more advanced in their cycle than I was. But yeah, and then I went my own way then for a year or so, and then I put Mirrorglass together.
Cool, cool. So, what has Mirrorglass been up to, especially in the last 12 months or so?
Well, I've mostly been focused on like the start of this year. I was fully focused on getting my album together and recording that. I got a set of speakers and got all the recording equipment I needed and put it together myself with the help of Paul Jackman, who is our drummer. He played on all the drum tracks. I just asked him one day. I said, will you come and do this album with me?" Because we already had an album before this in 2024 with the old band, but we had to we had to cancel that, unfortunately. So it was just a case of going at it again and giving it another shot. And I was writing a lot of new songs, and even after finishing the album, I was writing a lot because we weren't really fully focused on shows or anything. So it's been all about creating music and just trying to bring the album to new people.
Cool, cool. So, could you tell us a little bit about the new album that you released earlier on in the year?
Yeah, it's been written over several years. Um, the last songs that were written for it were written like right before we started recording, and then the first songs that were written for it were written before the band existed. So there's a big gap in the music that's on it. It really covers a big wide nest of what was going on in my life and all this stuff during this time, obviously wrapped into all these fantastical worlds that I created out of normal enough situations. But that's kind of what I like to do. I like to bring my own experiences and basically turn them into these fictional things. I suppose in a lot of ways it's a way of processing things that are maybe hard to process, and that's why it's writing music was very important for me in terms of getting through a lot of things. You know,
Cool, cool. So, how many tracks are there on the actual album?
there's 9. The original album had only 7, but I wrote a few extra tracks and mixed things up, and we got up to 9 tracks for the album.
Cool, cool. Is there any singles off the album?
Yeah, we released several singles over the time. of getting the album out. Since the new recordings, we had Wasted Time that was released at the start of this year, and then we had Ghost Town with it had the B side. Like it was a re-release of an old track that we had, Where Will You Go, and then Crazy Man was released as a single along with Heart of Gold.
Cool. Excuse me. You did mention earlier on that with the new album, you doing the album, you sort of like continued writing. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the songs that you've written?
Well, there's a lot of songs that I've written, but I've just I never really stopped writing. But they have evolved since the first album, and I'm starting to string something together that I'm really excited about. It's a lot. It's maybe going a bit heavier than I was before, a bit darker. And I don't know. It feels a little bit different, but it's I'm definitely very excited about it. There's a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm excited to get to work on recording it.
Yeah. Have you got any plans on just releasing singles or putting out an EP or an album?
Well, for me, I don't know. Singles is the game that everybody plays these days, but I'm not that big fan of single after single after single. So until I have like a full album or a full EP or something, I won't be releasing any singles. I just, but in fairness, I'm fairly quick with writing songs, so I don't expect to take too long in getting things together. So it would be probably an EP or an album I'd be looking at doing next over the next 12 months.
Cool. If when you do get like an EP or an album together, would it be sometime in sort of like summer next year or autumn next year?
That's maybe when we'd start pushing it. It'd probably be a little bit later than that though, because there's a lot of things to do before then. There's all these different processes you have to go through, and it takes a while. It takes longer sometimes than you'd hope it would take because of different loops different hoops you have to jump through. But yeah. I'd hope to start early next year. Not early next year, but maybe later next year. At getting some new stuff out.
Cool. Usually, Lisaboo normally asks this question. What is your process for writing songs? What comes first? What idea comes in your head first?
It's different every time. It's not the same every time. There's no real process for me. It's just something, either an idea sparks in my head, or a tune, or even just like a feeling I get from something. Just it just starts transforming into something in my head, and then I just go from there. Whether it's just like certain guitarists. Like only this week I started writing something new, and it was because I went to a concert last week, and and it just kind of got my juices going a bit, and then I started writing something that was kind of I suppose it was inspired by the artist I saw in a certain way. It was, at least it was a bit of an experiment with a different sort of style that I thought would suit me. So there's all sorts of different things that spark song.
Yeah. When that idea sort of like comes into your head, do you come up with a sort of like a melody or a chorus, or do you come up with a riff?
A lot of the time I get the chorus first, but it really depends on the song. Some songs don't even have a chorus, but it usually always starts with a guitar. I don't really start with vocals or melody or something. It usually starts with a guitar or a keyboard or something, and then I just start riffing over the top of it, and then starts piecing itself together.
Cool. So we've got a question from Lisaboo. She asks, "What is your favorite part of performing?"
I don't know. It's the whole vibe of it's just really cool. I just love being able to get up there and play my songs and just play the guitar. Mostly, my favorite. If you're comparing vocals and guitar, I'd 100% go for guitar as the most fun. And Yeah, I just like playing for people. I think it's a nice feeling when people are there enjoying your music, and it's just everybody kind of unites for a song, even if they don't know the originals or whatever. It's really nice when they hear a cover that they really love or something like that. Really the best gigs are always when you build a connection with the crowd, and that's the most fun thing when that happens. It's just like a fairy tale from there. You know.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've been to a lot of gigs in my time, and when a band plays a fan favorite and the crowd goes wild, it's just like
Hmm.
I can see it on the band's faces, and it's sort of like their faces just light up and say the crowd connects to the band
Yeah.
because of this particular song.
Hmm. Yeah, it's always
So,
great.
thank you for that, Lisaboo. Oh, the coming thick and fast from Lisaboo. Um, she asks, Lisaboo asks, who would you like to collaborate with?
There's a lot of different people. It depends. It depends on my mood. you know. Um, like the inner child in me says I'd love to play guitar with Slash. That'd be like a dream. But then like the more songwriting side of me would like look at some artists, like for example the artist I saw the other week, Gary Newman, and
Mm,
say, well, that'd be really cool to like be in the studio with him for a day, because he's like so meticulous with his songs. It'd be just completely like, whoa, I feel, you
yeah,
know?
Gary Newman is basically an icon.
Yeah.
Um, I've been a fan of his since 1979, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he is. He is. Thank you for that, Lisa Boo. Much appreciated. Um, so, um, have you sort of like got a working title, or that's if it's came like sort of like came across your head across your mind for the EP or an album? Have you got a working title for the new for the songs that you've been sort of like working with?
Well, I've got titles for the songs that I've worked on. For the album, I don't know. I've had album or EP. I've had some thoughts about what I want to do. I'm mostly leaning towards an album though, because I don't know. I just feel like an album's more worthwhile. While I can. I have a lot of songs you know that are fit to
Yeah,
be in an album, and there's a lot of leftovers from what we were working on before. And yeah, I've got like themes and ideas and all sorts of things in my head. It's definitely going to be different from the first one, because the first one to me was like a collection of songs just to kind of introduce my music to the world. But this time I'm thinking now I'm going to make like a real album, like something that's a bit more thought out and a bit more, and instead of like the spontaneity of the first one, because there's always there's always positives for it being spontaneous, because it's got like this feeling, the spontaneous feeling's always good. But I kind of want to go for something that's a bit more um maybe connected and a bit more focused, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. A bit more structured.
Yeah, but I don't really have a working title. I have nothing,
Yeah,
not too much. I
yeah,
have different titles of different songs that I have, but I don't really have an overall working title just yet that I'm settled
yeah.
on.
Cool. Um, so, have you sort of like got any sort of like plans on putting it out with merchandise, such as t-shirts, hats, beanies, stuff like that?
Yeah, I hope to get some out. I trialed doing something not that long ago, but it didn't really work out. So I have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and all that, because it's tough as an independent artist. You have to get the people that are going to buy that sort of stuff, and it's hard because you know you have to produce all these things. But we have CDs for the first album, so they're available on the website, and I hope to get some shirts and different things going as well alongside it.
Cool. I know Ozzy will come up with this and she will start screaming at us. Is there any plans, obviously later down the line, if you got the funds ready, even if it's sort of like a limited run, would you put out vinyl records?
We did consider it. Honestly, it depends. If people want it, then we'll definitely do it. But it's just, as you said, you need the funds there to do it, and you need the people there that are going to buy it. So at the moment, no, but in the future, I'd hope we'd definitely be getting into vinyl.
Cool. And this got a question from Ozzy, and she, thank you for reminding me of this. Is there any plans on doing a tour or plans on doing several gigs?
Yeah, well, we're hoping to do a few gigs at the start of next year. We're doing one. Jay from Reaction set up a showcase in Belfast. We're going to perform at it, and yeah, we're hoping to play a few gigs at the start of next year, and then we're hoping to continue then after the summer, or like I think from July on, we're gonna continue, and there is plans to try and get a load of gigs because we didn't do much last year, and I want to really go at that this year. So that's what we're focused on at the moment. We're focused on getting out there and getting some gigs and playing for people who want to come see us.
Yeah, cool. Would you sort of like play a few gigs within your local area, or hopefully get over to the rest of the UK?
Well, yeah, I'd probably be looking at trying to get a couple of gigs in Dublin, and then we've got the one in Belfast, as we said. Then maybe some of the other towns in Ireland, and then I would hope that next year we could make the trek over to the UK and do a date or two over there, even if it's just a festival or some show. We're definitely thinking about it and definitely want to try and do it.
Cool. Obviously, this will be sort of like. Hopefully in the somewhat near future. And if you've got the funds, like I said, it all comes down to funds. Would you sort of like, once you get like some recognition, would you sort of like get over to Europe or over into like North America or down in Australia if you had the funds ready?
If we had the funds, then yeah, of course, I'd definitely love to do that. But yeah, you have to have the people there to come and see us, and then, as you said, we need to have the funds to be able to get over there and all that. But actually, funny enough, the one place I was thinking about, because I have some distant family, Canada is one spot that I've always thought that'd be a great spot to go to play. And I've thought about that, but yeah, I'd definitely love to do it. If I could do a world tour right now, of course I would. But have to be patient with all that.
Yeah. It takes it does take a little bit of time and a lot of funds to actually organise something like, say, a tour of Canada or Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, this question from Ozzy sort of like prompted me to actually ask about the tours. Ozzy asked, which is your most favourite place to play at?
I'd say my favourite place is just it's only a small little theatre that in my locality. It's in Leitrim, Cornwall Theatre. I've played there several times, and I always love it. They're lovely people, and yeah, that's always my go-to place. I suppose we played 2 shows in 2023 and they were lovely, and it was great. And then obviously, other school-related events were held in there as well. So it's got a very close place to my heart, I suppose, when it comes to performing. So yeah, that'd probably take the top spot.
Cool. And sort of like on the continuing on your favorite place, what is your dream venue to play at?
Well, it was Slane because I saw my first concert at Slane, but in recent years, I'm not too sure anymore. But yeah, I suppose Slane was one of them that was always up there as one that I'd love to play because of the atmosphere. I suppose in terms of festivals, Download's one of them that I always loved. That was one that we used to watch when I was younger at the weekends. On me and my dad, and we used to watch Download Festival when we used to have. I don't think they exist anymore. I think it was an old TV channel called Scuzz. I think they used to have it on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
So,
still in existence or not.
Hmm?
I used to like watching Scuzz.
yeah, yeah. So that's where we got it on, I think, and that'd be really cool. And then suppose locally, place I've been to recently with concerts in all three arenas, really, really nice venue. That if you ended up there, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you for the question, Ozzy. Um, Speaking of about would love to go over to Canada. Lisaboo is in Canada, and she says yes, come to Canada.
Yeah. Well, someday, hopefully.
Yeah.
Someday, hopefully soon.
One day, yeah, definitely one day. So thank you for the comment, Lisa. Um, so, where can people find you on social media so they can keep up to date?
Well, on Instagram and all them social medias, our handle is Mirrorglass Official, and our website's also mirrorglassofficial.com. Pretty much everywhere, if you search Mirrorglass Official, we're probably there. Unless it's some really obscure website, we're probably not there. But Mirrorglass Official, if you want to find us on social medias, and mirrorglassofficial.com is our website. And on Spotify, just search for Mirrorglass and all the streaming. That's us.
Yeah. And thank you, Lisa, for to sharing out Mirrorglass's Linktree. Yeah. So, guys in the chat, we're going to be starting to wrap things up in about 5-10 minutes or so. So, if you've got any more questions, please get them in now. So, we're going to be starting to wrap up in about 10-15 minutes. So, Joshua, any advice for people who want to become a musician, whether for their own personal pleasure or quite possibly going down into the sort of like commercial route?
Well, I mean, you always have to start at the personal level, I suppose. If you're doing it, don't make it hard for yourself. Find what you want to do. I suppose don't just do something because you think it's the right way to do it, or somebody told you on the internet that this is how you should do it. You just trust your gut and do it your way is what I'd say. I've been guilty of it in the past too, like, seeing all the advice on social media and all this, that, and the other. But really, I think the best thing to do is just do it your way, because the thing is, if you do it your way, you won't get burnt out as quick, and you'll enjoy doing it. And if you enjoy doing it, other people enjoy it too. And I suppose that's the key thing. It has to be fun. So always try and keep it fun.
Yeah, sound advice there. Sound advice. Yeah, and and yeah, if you keep it fun and people sort of like will gravitate towards that, and sort of like say, have you got your things? Have you got it recorded? And that leads into other things, and like where they want to buy a CD or a shirt or something like that. Down into the commercial side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
so,
don't quite. What did you say?
yeah, sort of like that will lead into sort of like once it's like once you sort of like keep it fun and keeping to sort of like to your sort of like idea, sort of like your
style,
the way
I suppose.
your style, your way of doing things, people sort of like gravitate towards that.
Yeah,
And there's when they ask, have you got a CD? Have you got this? Have you got that? We want to
yeah,
support you.
that's the thing. Yeah, if you're just like everybody else who's trying to play the same game, then you're just going to be stuck in the same mashup. So you kind of have to just think outside the box and do things the way you want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely sound advice there. So we're going to be starting to wrap things up. So have you got sort of like any final words before we go?
Well, of course, I'd love if anybody listening or watching can check us out on social media and on Spotify and listen to our music. And if anybody's feeling in any way generous, there's a CD up on our website that you can get, and yeah, that would mean the world to us. And people get them, we'll keep producing them and keep giving them out, and we'll go from there, and we'll do our best to bring our songs out to the world and maybe go to Canada someday.
Yeah, cool. Lisaboo has just mentioned new with a comment. She says, "New follow here."
That's great to hear.
So
That was nice
thank
when
you.
you get a new follower, somebody interested.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for that, Lisa. So Joshua, thank you so much for coming on and being on here for this little interview. It's been a total blast.
Yeah, had a great time. Thanks for having me.
So, guys in the chat, if you haven't checked out Mirrorglass, please do. These guys are absolutely amazing. So go. I'll put all the links down in the description, and the moderators have been putting the links out into the chats there. So please go check them out. These guys are absolutely brilliant. So again, Joshua, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a total pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks.
So until next time, guys, we'll catch you all later.